Plot elements. Why do people love stories so much? What makes stories interesting? It is the sequence of events in a story. It is what happens in the story. This is called plot. Plot is what happens in the story. In this picture, you can see the plot arc. The plot arc is the usual order of events in a story. This sequence of events helps keep our attention. Let's look at it in more detail. The plot usually starts with the exposition. The exposition is the beginning of the story, where we see the characters and setting, time, and place of the story. A lot of stories have a narrator, a person who tells the story to us. Next, the conflict is introduced to us. The conflict is the problem or struggle one or more characters have in the story. A conflict makes us ask ourselves, how will the characters solve this conflict? What will they do? The conflict makes us curious to continue reading, listening, or watching the story. Now, conflicts can be external, characters versus other characters, the world, etc., or they can be internal when the characters are struggling with their own thoughts or feelings. When conflicts are external, a lot of stories, especially fairy tales, have two types of characters: the protagonist or hero, the good guy or guys, and the villain or antagonist, the bad guy or guys. When conflicts are internal, the character or characters are fighting their own emotions, fear, or even decisions they have to make. Once we know the characters and their conflict or problem, then things start to get worse. This moment in the story is called the rising action. The characters face difficult challenges or events. We continue to ask ourselves, how will the character solve this problem? Then comes the most intense moment in the story, the climax. It is the most difficult moment for the character. Sometimes the character has to make a big decision. Other times, the character experiences something very emotional. This event usually changes the rest of the story, and a lot of times the character too. Actually, a lot of characters change during or after the climax. At the climax, something big happens that forces the character to grow or change. If the characters do change, they are called dynamic. If they don't change, they are called static characters. Now, in lots of stories, something unexpected happens that shocks us. That event is called a plot twist because it usually changes the direction of the story completely or makes us change our minds about the characters in the story. A plot twist is a big surprise moment, and it usually happens during the rising action or the climax. After the climax comes the falling action. This is the moment when we see if the characters have changed or not, because their actions will change or stay the same. We see what happens after the characters face their biggest challenge in the story. Finally, the story ends with the resolution. The conflict is resolved and the story ends. If the characters changed, this is the moment where we see the character fully transformed. If the character did not change, we see this too. Thank you for watching this video. For practice activities related to the vocabulary in this video lesson, click on the link in the description below. Also, subscribe to this channel for more videos.